What's poppin'? It's Mello. We about to make a beat. So today I'm gonna give you some tips about making lo-fi beats while making a beat. But what we're gonna be doing, we're gonna be using sounds from the Blueprint multi-kit by The Vault Sounds. It's very dope. It has a ton of stuff in it. We'll get into that later. Full disclosure, not a sponsored video, but I am affiliated. With that being said, let's get into it. Please put a like on the vid. So the first thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna start with the keys, and they have over 70 chord progression MIDIs that actually have melodies to them as well. And they're very emotional. So we're gonna find one that's really emotional that fits the vibe of a lo-fi beat and use it. And the good thing about it as well is it's played by actual keyboard players, so it's gonna be realistic. So I'm gonna render this down to audio so I can manipulate it a little bit and chop it a little bit, and then we're gonna run with it. So to give it that real lo-fi feel, I'm gonna hit it with the wow and flutter, and then I'm going to render it again. The kit has a ton of phrases, and violins are very good for lo-fi beats and stuff like that. They go really great with pianos. So I'm gonna use some of those and chop up the phrases. Now, this is the thing I want you to know about how I use phrases and things like that. Of course, they have tempos with them and keys. What I do, because yeah, I can calculate all of that and stuff, I really don't care about the tempo or any of that. I care about what I hear. And as far as a process, what that breaks down to is I get it in key first. You're going to hear me do that with the clips. And then after I get it in key, I hear what parts I like, and I just chop out those and leave them in. I'm also even going to automate the volume on some of those clips. Let's get to it. And now I'm gonna find something to make a really passive melody over it. So now we're gonna get to the drums. I'm gonna use a drum loop so we can have a good foundation. Now, as far as the drums, you see I routed all the drum tracks to a drum bus. I took them off the master. We're going to take a look. I put a compressor on it as far as a multi-band compressor, a wow and flutter, some distortion, very light on the distortion. And then we put an equalizer on it just to filter off some of the highs. Now I'm going to click the fourth band so you can see I put the bandwidth at 0 so it could be a hard cut. One thing I want to note over the hi-hat loop, I did use a slight distortion and reverb. And also for the mix of the bass, I had it with some slight distortion through the wave shaper, but I also boosted the lows in the graphic EQ and I put a limiter on it to cut any type of clipping. We'll be listening to the final beat in a moment, but I just want to let you know, as far as this packet is a big multi-kit, and it contains a sample pack, drum kit, MIDI pack. Even if you got, the Fruity Loops or whatever, you got the Analog Lab and RC20 presets, effect rack banks, all types of stuff. The reason I like it, because I'm doing a lot of mobile videos right now, it has a lot of one-shots and samples. So the fact it has a lot of one-shot samples, midis and drums and things of that nature, loops, that's gonna help me quite a bit, especially with the real vocal phrases and the real violins and things of that nature. It's just a really quality kit, and I'm pretty sure you yourself will get a tremendous amount of value out of the things in this kit. And again, this is not sponsored, but I am affiliated, so if you do buy it, I do get a cut. Full transparency. With that, more tutorials, more cookups and things of that nature coming soon. I will see y'all another day, somehow, some way. I'm out.